What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology horoscope for the weekend of January 28th and the 29th of 2023. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Pretty pumped on this weekend. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a great week. Let's take a look at it. Pretty cool stuff. Saturn's out of shadow. Pluto's out of shadow now. Lots of energy is moving forward. Everything's direct. We're in Aquarius. This is a forward movement sign. This is our future. And we're seeing that sun square the nodes. But not only is it squaring the nodes, but this moon in Taurus, exalted, is also here with the north node exactly at 8 degrees. We'll be making that first quarter square to the sun with the north node. There's an immense pressure. I mean, it's not like, this is where it's kind of interesting. I think this weekend is outstanding astrologically, but a first quarter square isn't the most comfortable energy, and the moon in the north node isn't the most comfortable energy. But gosh, whatever is transpiring in our lives is trying to give you more quality. And gosh, squares want to initiate. So we have to initiate the quality of life of the future we desire with all things moving forward, using our objectivity, being non-attached, not holding on too tightly to things that are no longer, bringing a passion into our life. Or, we need to understand our passions better too, and make sure that there's a quality, that there's a actual touch, feel, smell, like a real sense built into this. But also, Taurus energy is very much that relationship to self, self-worth, value. We have to know that we can take care of ourselves, that we're good, that we're solid, that we're here. That's going to help us individuate, help us come into a stronger frequency, a stronger version of ourselves. So very important weekend as everything's starting to move forward. Could be extremely insightful. Mercury is done with the square to Chiron, thank goodness, and it is starting to trine over to Uranus, and it will trine Uranus with the moon on Uranus today as well. So again, it's kind of a weird day, but in a really cool way, because somehow we're getting a puzzle piece that we've been missing or looking for. It's like there's been a lot of planning maybe, or going back over plans, or trying to understand what we want. We're really getting shown this weekend what we actually do want. It's becoming clear, and we're getting the confidence in many ways to take the next step, to cut the ties, cut the chains, and start, I think, being responsibly mentally with the value that will make us feel top tier in life. And I mean, again, it comes through decisions. Saturn's out of shadow. It's moving fast again, heading towards Pisces. Gosh, Venus is in Pisces. We need to really, it's kind of far out there energy, but at the same time, it's not that far out. It's really far in ourselves, because inside of ourselves, we know what we need. We know how to connect things. We know how to use the insightful aspect that's shown up out of nowhere to show us a better way right now. And I feel like, it could be kind of intense, because it's showing us what needs to be done, and we need to have the confidence, and we need to really get back in tune with what we want. We have to kind of look at our personal lives in a way that's like, am I getting the quality of life I desire or not? I'm not going to sit here and play the wounded warrior with Chiron and Aries. I'm not going to, trick my mind into thinking that this is the only way it's ever going to be, the only plan that's ever going to happen, because there's a lot of ways to innovate and change and evolve and grow this weekend. So, I mean, I would just say, you definitely want to use this energy. It's very good, very, very good. I mean, we're still seeing the sun sextile Jupiter. We're starting to see Venus in a semi-sextile to Jupiter. Mars and the sun this weekend are in trine. So there is a kick in the butt here. We can have a lot of energy, a lot of stamina for the things that we feel really called to, especially if it's creating beautiful aspects of life, feeling more confident, more beautiful, realizing it's okay to change course. If the ship is going in a direction that does not feel like it has life, we can course correct it. Today's a good look at how to course correct life if needed, or how to connect more to the value of life that you desire, and that you can liberate, and that you can take chains off, and that you don't have to do it any way other than the unique way that your soul knows how to do it. And that's part of taking the authority in your life to do it. And how do you want to use the information to move into the environment that you want to be in, around the people that you want to be connected to? How do you make dreams real with Venus in Pisces, disposited by the North Node? It's all about connecting to that frequency, that timeline, that feeling of, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Whether it's showing up in your life or not, we got to find a way to feel that. It's extremely important. And we got to, get out of the fear, get out of the despair, kind of got to peek our head out of the darkness. I know we can find a lot in the dark. We can find a lot of light, but how do we peek our head out and really see the beauty and the light and the excitement? It's a big weekend. It's very cool. It's going to show us something for sure. And as we come to Sunday, we're going to see Mercury make that trine to Uranus. And I was saying, this third Mercury trine Uranus was the one. Like, this is helping us understand the radical long-term value within ourselves, within what we want to accomplish. The universe has dropped us enough breadcrumbs at this point. Like, we have a sandwich, you know what I'm saying? Like, so whatever shows up, you're going to have some crazy, insightful, oh my gosh, or having, the complete understanding of who is bringing value into your life, what you want to do, who you want to do it with, how to start acting in that way, how to start moving in that way, thinking in that way. Very powerful. The moon will come to the third decan of Taurus, and yeah, it will square Saturn. So I do really like this astrology this weekend, but it comes with, having to boss up emotionally and make calls for more value and more connectivity and, actually being responsible for the frequency you want to be on. And sometimes we have to get out of comfortable situations that maybe have held value in the past, but no longer do. And then, maybe they do, maybe they don't. These are things we got to figure out in our own personal lives, as there is a lot that's trying to progress here. And we will see the moon also sextile Neptune, which is extremely beautiful energy for your intuition, for your imagination, your creativity, especially with Venus here in Pisces exalted and Neptune the ruler, and this Taurus energy of Uranus and the North Node and the moon. If you can feel the dream like it's already there, you're going to create it physically. And you have to have that enough security within yourself to use the proper sensitivities to manifest and to not go into just the oversensitive place of the opposite energy of I won't have what I want or I can't get it. Like, this is very important. Sun, trine, Mars. Finally, we're getting some good Mars aspects after, gosh, what a retrograde that was. I mean, this is it. Like, you feel the energy to make something happen, to change something up, to connect more, to communicate your individuality, to liberate yourself. Doesn't get much better than this. Very, identifiable, and it could feel very alien. And I mean, honestly, this weekend could bring God knows what. Literally an alien showing up out of nowhere. Very radical, mystical, unpredictable, but everything is trying to liberate you. Everything is trying to get you more into the creative place where here I am, ready to create, and I feel that within myself, and I don't need some quick hit to, escape into, because I escape into my fantasy of the life that I'm going to create rather than thinking that it's external. Escape inward into the powerful creative aspects that you have within your soul, and then take that message, bring it to the mind, understand it so that you can physically manipulate and do what you need to do to physically bring it in, because it's both. So it's the feeling, it's the knowing, it's the doing, and you can start to see things really kick off here. So it's pretty special, quite the astrology that we're living through. And I think this weekend is I mean, it's a mixed bag. This can be an extremely intense weekend for people. It can feel hard. It can feel like Brian said this was a good weekend, and I am in struggle bus mode. And it can also feel like the most magical time of your life. So it's very interesting. But again, this is showing you where you're at right now and what can be changed. And we can always make changes for better. And we can always feel better and more secure within ourselves. And we can always feel more connected to the divine and to the faith and to the surrender that if we feel good, we will get good. And if we feel bad, we will get bad. And how do we identify with these things from a very smart place and liberate and change? And there's a lot of mutation taking place. It's going to be a big year. And we're just starting to see some of the big transits that are happening this year. And I would say this weekend is it's a wow. Wow. So, starting to really see what 2023 is all about in our lives. Pretty cool stuff, in my opinion. Oh, 3 of Cups in reverse. I would say this is just like, you don't need like a bunch of people to come in and make you feel better. You don't need outside influence to make you feel happy and abundant and loving. Like, we really need to focus on how to just do that for ourselves, because that is what will attract in the person that's going to do that, or the creative element of life that's going to do that. So, you know, I just feel like we do have to make sure that we're taking time for ourselves this weekend to tap into this energy, because it wants to connect greatly, but it's almost like it can't fully connect if our emotional receptivity isn't firing. So we have to be able to be in that place within ourselves to have the full connection outside. High Priestess reversed. I don't think we have to pretend like we know all the answers, or we know exactly where the future is going, or like we're some just super psychic, mystical creature, even though we are super psychic, mystical creatures. But we don't have to get so caught up in maybe the identification of that. We just need to be. We just need to see what's going on and what's real and what's showing up, and like make decisions instead of like, I have all the answers in my crystal ball. Or in my tarot cards. Death card reversed. Yeah, I'd say it's not a time to avoid transformation either. It's a time to go through the transformation. It's time to see the rebirth in life. I mean, it also doesn't have to be so intense, I feel like, with that card. It doesn't have to be like feeling like, oh gosh, everything's dying and this is... Three reversals, 2 major arcana. It's an interesting week. You're gonna feel that fate came in some way this weekend, and you have to be willing to evolve. You have to be willing to transmutate aspects in life, and you'll do just fine. And you will connect to what you need to be connected to, but you have to connect within yourself first, and learn to let go a little bit too. We hold on to way too many stories or ideals that are not our own, and I think that this weekend's really getting back to our own personal connection, our own personal, intuition, taking care of ourselves, and the rest will fall into place exactly as it's meant to. And doesn't mean we're not going to have good times with people, and it doesn't mean that we're not psychic AF, and it doesn't mean that life will never change or transform. It is, no matter what. It always does. So it's almost just like accepting that and finding comfort and stability and making, strong decisions for better feelings in your life. It's a good weekend. It is. You'll see, even if it doesn't feel like it, because I feel like it's intense energy and it could be hard for some people. I'll be honest about that. But you will look back and be like, wow, the end of January 2023, what a potent time. And thank goodness I made that decision. Or I really wish I made that decision. But you'll see. You'll see. Me getting all high priestess reversed. You'll see. I know the future with my cards and my astrology. It's not the weekend yet. I filmed this on Friday. I love you all very much. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all Monday. Much love. Peace.